Hi YouTube! Sporting a bit of a natural look today, but I want to get this up as soon as I can. I had some people ask me at Anime North about my poi, as they often do. With my Korra cosplay, I like to bend in real time as a performance piece, I guess. So poi is what I use. The full term for it is actually veil poi because I attached veils to it, veils being the fabric that kind of give it the effect of water bending or fire bending. And of course you can do air and earth bending as well. You can do magical effects if you wanted, spirits and magic and I don't even know what else. Lots of applications. So I guess to get started, I'll walk you through my setup. You can go to, the site I use is Home of Poi. I have a coupon code for it as well. I think it's Bend It Like Korra. It'll be in the description box. Everything I mentioned will be in the description box below. But the setup I have, if I can loosen this. Okay, so juggling ball with a swivel on the end. With this piece, the ring turns, but this actually swivels as well. Now there's going to be a lot of swiveling parts. That enables you to spin all you like without anything getting tangled. Now I've seen firsthand the way it can get tangled. It's a little bit frustrating because once it twists on itself, whatever you're using, the chain, the fishing line, whatever, it's going to shorten and shorten and shorten, and then it'll be so taut that it doesn't work the way it's supposed to work. So at least having one point of swivel in there is good. I don't know what you call that, like point of contact, but point of, I don't know. And then we have a ball bearing swivel that looks like this. So this swivels both ways and through and everything, and it's amazing to use. Feels real good. Like you can tell when you get the right pieces for this. Oh, it just works. So I'm just going to tighten this part because they connect from the ball to the second ball bearing swivel thing via a quick link. Most of this stuff you can probably find in your hardware store. If you want to do this as a DIY, you absolutely can. But this is just a quick link and it just unscrews in the middle. You put these on, you screw it back together. At the top I have this Pro Series handle fanciness. I love this fabric. It's the same sort of fabric they use on their Pod Poi. I have a pair of those as well. It's nice and smooth and soft, and it feels so nice on your fingers. You don't really get that cut off of circulation that other materials might give you, whether it's fabric or metal. At the end of that, they have another swivel attached to it. This part all comes pre-made. You can actually get this entire thing pre-made, but it will be a chain in the middle. So instead I just ordered the separate pieces because when you order it as one solid piece, it's actually one solid piece. They will weld everything shut for you and weld it smooth. So that's really, really nice if you want the chain. But I knew I wanted the invisible effect, so I had to go with fishing line. Now to tie the fishing line, what I did was I tied one at the top, looped, and you can see there's like extra bits. I don't even care, you don't see them, it's fishing line. But I tied one at the top, looped it through to the bottom, and tied it back at the top. And then I did a second time at the bottom, looped it through the top, tied it again at the bottom. So there's 4 knots, 2 on each side, 2 loops, 4 pieces in the middle, technically, made of 2 pieces of fishing line. Hopefully that made sense. To tie it off, I used a fishing knot. I think it's the Pitson knot. Again, I'll link it in the description box below. But this one's great because the more tension there is on the line, the tighter the knot actually gets. It doesn't get looser like a standard overhand knot would. For the fabric, okay, this is the fabric I went with the second time around. First time I got polyester organza, which is what this is. But the first one, I just got it on a really good sale at Fabricland. Don't buy it from there. They're way overpriced. If you're in the GTA, go to downtown Toronto. You'll find chiffon and organza way more affordable than you do at Fabricland. And with those ones, what I did for the edges, all the fabric will have a finished edge and then a raw edge as well. I just took it, I folded it once, folded it twice, just a basic hem, and then I hemmed all along that. I used a zigzag stitch so it would be nice and wide. And I did that. It took forever, and when I bought these ones this time around, I realized, wait a minute, it's polyester. I could have just burned the edges. So that's what I did for these. You can see it's just, it's completely, it's all one piece. It's completely smooth. I mean, some rough bits, it's burnt, of course, but you just burn the edge really carefully. I lit a candle, I held this over it, and I just whisked it across as I went, and I just kept going and going. The different types of fabric you can use, I'd suggest 3. One is chiffon. It will look gorgeous. It will be so pretty you won't believe your eyes. But the thing with chiffon is that it's a delicate material. It's very lightweight. It'll give you those really pretty shapes and things that you might like. But it can stain very easily. It'll get dirty. It'll get torn. If it's scraping against the concrete, that'll happen. Second fabric I might recommend is polyester lining. So when you're indoors and stuff, it looks great, it's fine, but I find as soon as you go outdoors, it looks a little blocky. It's very solid. You won't get any transparency, you won't get any different kinds of colors. So that's why I go with polyester organza. It's kind of the best of both worlds, plus you get this extra shimmer to it, and it looks really, really pretty in the sun. So like I have these two, I mean on this camera or whatever, but this is my water and then this is my fire, and you can see just especially with this one, it's got this gold to it, and this isn't even like direct sunlight. This is, everything's overcast. You can see the sun way in the back over there, but you can see that there's at least 2 colors in here, and it looks really nice. It looks stunning in the sun. And it looks stunning indoors. It looks stunning on camera when it moves, when it gathers. You get all that extra. Amazing. But the transparency is really nice to have. So those are the 3 I'd recommend. Chiffon, polyester lining, polyester organza. The great thing about the 2 polyester fabrics is that they do not stain. You can try. I've accidentally done so on a couple of occasions, and I freaked out. I dragged it through the mud at my first Anime North using these, and by the time I got onto the grass, the mud was all gone. It just dripped off or flicked off. I didn't even know where it went. When I was burning these ones, it started raining, it was pouring, just all of a sudden. I thought, I'll just go out, it's nice and humid. It's kind of spinning. If anything catches on fire, I just dump it in a puddle, it's fine. But no, it poured on me. And I got back inside and I realized I was stepping on it the whole time in the mud. I rinsed off in the sink and it's absolutely fine. You can't even tell. Can't even tell. So it's great for that. It's great for durability. Only once have I seen them get a hole, and that was when the ball just smashed off the ground on the concrete. And it burned this tiny little hole in it, and it bothers me, but it doesn't spread or anything like it might with chiffon. The threads don't go everywhere. Like, I haven't had a problem with that tiny hole. So attaching the veils to the poi you have made, not difficult at all. What I do is I choose a corner of the fabric, and I put the poi, usually I just do this against the ground, but I put the poi in the corner, and then I wrap it. And usually I just take what used to be the raw edge first, wrap that around that way, wrap this around this way, like a waffle cone, let's describe it like that. And then I just twist the top, use my elastic band, just an elastic band, that's all it is. Or a twist tie. Twist ties are great, they're a lot faster than elastic bands. And they don't get tangled in the fishing line. But I find elastic bands really, really hang on to it really well. So once that's all tied, like a cooking show, once that's all tied on, it's all nice and done, because the juggling balls I have are white, if they pop out of the veil, it's really obvious. It's like, this is ball with your bending, what's going on? So once it's all folded over, I just take a small safety pin and I pin it kind of near the bottom so that so that it doesn't pop out on its own at all. And that fixes that problem, which is great. It bugged me for like a year before I realized you can just close it. Now some people do opt to sew these on, which is also great. It's not going to pop out on you or anything. It's not going to go anywhere. All you have to do is sew it near the top, and then it can't get pulled farther down. And then you sew it near the bottom again. Problem I have with that, you can see from one day of use, it wasn't even a day, it was like an hour of use. This is what's happened to the corner of my fabric. Now over time, that's going to get out of control. It's really going to wear down whatever fabric you have chosen, no matter what it's made of. I've seen it happen with polyester lining. Cosplay in a Box, they do their DIY version, and she does sew it right on. So she has to replace the veils eventually, or chop that piece off and flip it around and keep going. So what I like to do is use those elastic bands or twist ties, and then it's temporary. I take it off when I'm not using it, fold it up, and store it, and the fabric has a chance to relax. Because I might not use it for months at a time, so why not keep it in pristine condition? And then you take it out the next time, and magically it's all nice once again. Now I just switched corners for that. As for how much fabric you will need, this is kind of a standard width of fabric, probably about 60 inches since I'm only 5 feet, 3.5 inches, and I can reach this. So it's 60 inches wide. With a 60-inch width, 2 yards is a great length to go with. Some people suggest 3, maybe that's for a 45, I don't know. But 3 is incredibly long. This is great, you get some good shapes out of it. 3 maybe if you have chiffon, if you want to go the chiffon route. Good luck, but maybe 3 for that, just because the shapes it makes are a little more slender. They're a little more slender than organza. Organza you're going to get kind of more blocky, dynamic shapes with it, whereas with chiffon it's going to be like actual water or air or whatever. Almost like a little dragon floating around you, which is really pretty. But again, how much washing do you want to do? How much replacing do you want to do? Keep that in mind. With my first set of organza, I got the 3 yards, and it ended up being a super wide piece. I couldn't believe how wide it was, and I still can't believe how wide it is. But when I like unfolded everything, this is way too much, and I got 2 pairs out of it instead of the 1 pair I thought I was initially getting. So that was only 1.5 yards worth of fabric, but because it was way more than 60, I don't even know how wide it is. I've never even measured it because it's huge. It's huge. I'm not going to bother. Just trying to think if there's anything else you might need to know. I guess we can cover how to use them real quick. I don't know if anyone would like me to put up tutorials for poi, but there is a great pre-existing tutorial online. This guy has a channel, it's called Play Poi. I'll link that as well, and I'll probably throw it up here since it is a YouTube channel, I can do that. And the way he explains how to use poi, it's pretty intuitive. It's really well done. I think he took off the series that I learned from, which was even more brilliant than the other stuff he has up. Unfortunately, I'm not sure why you did that. I really liked that one. I learned really fast from that one, I found. And the way the lessons were kind of set out was great. It was a lot easier to follow in terms of, now you know this basic technique, let's add this basic technique and this basic technique on top of it until you've got this really cool technique. But the way he has it now, it kind of gets the difficult stuff out of the way. By difficult, I mean some of the basic stuff I couldn't master using his other series. So maybe this is a better way to do it. If you need to know the names of any techniques and you're having trouble finding it, just ask me here, I guess, and I'll see if I can help you out. So I think that is it for poi. If you're gonna give it a shot, have fun. It is a lot of fun to use. Make sure you practice without the veils first. You're gonna get a lot more techniques in if you learn without the veils, and they can look really cool on its own too, which is why I bought the pod poi, because they're so pretty and you can use them at night and they light up and it's really cool, instead of like using actual fire poi. I'll start with LED poi. But yeah, these are a lot of fun. And they really kind of add to your costume. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments. I hope I covered everything for you. Like and subscribe if you like the video or you want to see more stuff, tutorials about things about things, whatever it might be. And I guess we'll see you next time. Bye, YouTube.